What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Dodgers Explicit, episode 12. I'm Ram.
And I'm Josh.
Today we have our very first special guest. Right here we have Dodger Danny, also known on Instagram as DodgerFan88. Would you like to say what's up to the crowd?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Doing great.
We're doing good. Excited to talk some Dodger baseball on this Monday night.
Of course. It's been slow. Football season's been kind of
Oh no.
the headline. So let's get it back into baseball where we gotta take over right now.
Hello?
Well, you know what? The Dodger community has welcomed those Dodger fans that have been on a break because they were following the Cowboys. We welcome back those Dodger fans that have been on a break because they were following the Rams. And we're just waiting for the 49er fans to join us.
Yep, almost there. So
yeah, pretty soon we'll be at full strength.
all right. So we kind of got a few questions for you today.
Sure.
First thing I want to ask you is you started this Instagram page, right? We wanted to know like what sort of led that fuel to get you to start an Instagram page, and what helped so much with your growth? Because I mean, you're up there for the Dodger fans.
Okay, so when I lived in Ohio, I used to coach, and there was a kid that I coached. Now, please understand, this kid was in first grade, second, third, fourth, and fifth. I did not add to his MLB playing. I just coached him as a kid. His parents babysat my daughter. We're family. Anyway, he got drafted by the Dodgers in 2017. His name is Zach Williman. Zach was at Kent State and had to have Tommy John surgery. So the Dodgers drafted him, taking a flyer on him late in 2017. So he did not pitch in 2018. So the playoffs, the World Series of 2018 was, I think, when I made my first post, was during that. I created the page to follow him. I wanted to know whenever he was going to get called up. So I followed Dodger Nation, Dodger Dugout, Dodger Center, Dodger 360, Dodger Yard, and a couple other accounts that are no longer out there. And I followed them because they pay attention to the prospects, kind of like what we all do now. So that's why I started the page, which is also why it's Dodger fan and not Dodgers. It's singular because I was a fan of his. Now, I've been a Dodger fan since '86. So I started watching Dodger 360 and how they were posting, and I started posting the same thing. Literally, I was posting their posts and giving them credit, of course, giving him credit. But then people started following. And of course, you know what? I did that new beginner thing. I followed people in hopes they would follow me back. That's why you see I have 5,000 followers that I'm following, because I haven't deleted all of them. I haven't unfollowed them. I just wanted to grow the account, get it started. And so once we started live streaming games in 2020, it just took off. People started asking me to do giveaways, promoting their stuff. So I told them to send me stuff so I could make sure it wasn't a scam. And once they sent me something, we started giving things away, and people just started coming. And then it's all organic from there.
That's good. That's good.
Wow.
So when you say live, would you go live on Instagram?
Yeah. So Tank Streams is an IP. It is internet television. It is IP television, and he purchased units from Spectrum. And so I was able to live stream. I'm able to live stream Dodger games on Spectrum.
Oh, that's big right there. That's huge.
Oh wow.
So every game that Spectrum does, I live stream. I do not live stream when it's on Apple TV or any of the other streaming services, because I can get shut down quick by Instagram.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's pretty good because I mean we're fresh into the Instagram game as far as the Dodger community, so Those are good words to hear. In 2018, not too long ago, and you built a pretty big fan base from then. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
What you got for him,
Yeah,
Josh?
so I was just gonna ask him. We released a video today, and I wanted to ask him kind of the same question, just to see where his head would be. Obviously, he got to watch a couple generations before us, assuming that we're so young. But if you could choose one Dodger player from the past to bring to this 2024 team, who would you choose?
In their prime.
In their prime. Okay, so
Yep.
I want you to understand the natural answer would be Sandy Koufax or Jackie Robinson. I mean, I get it. You know, they were the best. Jackie Robinson did so much for the Dodgers. Sandy Koufax, so much for the Dodgers. But I'm going to be a homer. I'm going to go with my favorite player. And I know it's not a popular answer, but I'm going to say Mike Piazza. And really, why should I have to do that? We have Will Smith. I know. You know, I was a huge fan of Mike Piazza. So now that we have Will Smith, I'm going to have to back away from that because Will Smith, I believe, has Mike Piazza, starting to have Mike Piazza numbers. Man, Sandy Koufax, that pitching, he was dominant. So we'll go with Sandy Koufax.
Yeah, that's what a lot of our followers said. They were all over Koufax.
Yeah.
So talking about, because we posted that on TikTok and that performed pretty well on TikTok. Are you on TikTok at all, by the way? Like, do you post anything on TikTok or scroll?
Yes and no. So here's the thing. I honestly don't have time to pay attention to more platforms.
Mm-hmm.
I am on TikTok and I'm on Twitter. And the reason I'm on them really is to get content, to pay attention to what happens. I'm on Twitter because I want to know the news, and Twitter is fast.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter is where old men like me go. But I've noticed Twitter is toxic.
It is very.
People are keyboard warriors. They are cyber tough guys from the safety of their bedrooms or mom's basement or whatever. It is just, you know, and so I limit myself on Twitter so I don't get sucked into these arguments because I love to argue. I love to argue. You'll see in some of my posts, you'll see me argue on some other people's posts. I enjoy it, but at the end of the day, it's all fun banter. TikTok, my daughter has to help me with TikTok. I posted a couple videos and a couple of them have done well, but yeah. So right now, really for me, it's just Instagram.
That's good. That's good. So what about have you ever thought about like YouTube, like recording while you go to games?
No. I mean, here's the thing. People have asked me about that, but that's just another platform to pay attention to. I'm a full-time hospice and funeral chaplain. Mm-hmm. So literally it is leave the house at 7 a.m. and get home at 5:30, 6 at night. I just don't have all of that in me. Now I'm going to go to FanFest and I'm going to record and I'm going to put some of it on live stream for TikTok. And the other thing is I really haven't studied up on the know-how. Now, if I were working with Dodger Nation, you know, Dodger Nation has guys in each of those areas. Dodger Nation has a guy that is YouTube. Dodger Nation has a guy that is TikTok. Dodger Nation has a guy that is Instagram. Dodger Nation has a guy that is Facebook. And they can do that well. I can't. It's not a full-time job for me.
Yeah, for sure. That's good to hear though. Put all your focus on Instagram and that's going to keep growing. So you talked about FanFest. That was going to be one of our main topics today. That's going to be fun. I personally have never been to FanFest. I know Josh hasn't either. So I don't know if you've been, but what's sort of the expectation for us?
So I've never been to FanFest.
Okay. So we're in the same boat.
Oh,
right. So here's what I'm going to do. I know this. the Dodgers have sold out their tickets. And you
Ooh,
say,
wow.
shame on the Dodgers for selling tickets to FanFest. Here's the deal. The Dodgers sold tickets to FanFest for crowd control.
Yeah.
That's what it
Oh, yeah.
was. Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto, that is going to bring a crowd that Dodger Stadium's huge, but we're not Shohei Ohtani huge.
Yeah.
And so the Dodgers have decided to charge $10. Look, $10 is pennies. That's peanuts. That is nothing. That is, I'm a serious fan, so I'm going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are the Dodgers going to do with those $10? You know what all that money is going to go to?
Where so?
It's going to go to the foundation. It's going to go to Dodger Foundation. And Dodger Foundation supports the community, supports Los Angeles, supports other charities. So that's where that money's going. The Dodgers are not getting rich on FanFest, but it's crowd control. So I'm going to go early, and I'm going to sit in my car for probably an hour in the parking lot before they open those gates.
I'll probably stay longer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go early so I can get in first, close to first. And then, yeah, I'm telling you, you got to be there early. Don't be there late. It's going to be packed.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. This is like, yeah, they're charging. A lot of people were complaining, but yeah, you're right. The crowd control, if it was free and there was no crowd control, you would probably be looking somewhere like a World Series parade, what that's going to look like. Though that's going to flood the city. So
right. I mean, and here's the thing. So I don't know what FanFest attendance was last year. Maybe one of you can look that up while I'm talking. I don't know what FanFest attendance was last year, but I'm telling you, it will probably double if they didn't do tickets.
Yeah, that's
crazy. They probably did. The tickets they probably sold the amount of tickets that attended last year. So whatever attended, let's say 30,000 people attended last year. Then that means they probably sold 30,000 tickets.
That's a lot of people. Still.
If it was 20,000, they probably sold 20,000 tickets. I am going to tell you this, though.
Yeah, because this would just hit a whole new.
What's that?
It's kind of cutting out.
Well, I heard that they were going to sell out. And one of the fan pages reached out to me because they couldn't get a ticket. They thought it was already sold out.
Mm-hmm.
So I had already bought my ticket, and then I bought their ticket. But then, since I could buy 2 tickets, and you can only buy 4, that's the limit, I went ahead and bought 2 more tickets just in case. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a giveaway, and I'm going to give away those tickets.
That's a good idea. Because
I'm going to give those 2 tickets away.
We have season tickets, so they gave us the early access, and we got them for free. And we were still limited to 4, but we have our squad going. We each got 4 each. He has his squad. I got my squad, and we're gonna do content there too. We're gonna record a YouTube video, get stuff for our Instagram, TikTok.
The fact that it was free for season ticket holders. Number one, you guys got to understand, season ticket holders are members to Dodger Baseball. That's a membership. So you get to get in early. You get membership items. You get special stadium giveaways, and you get this. Now, but because they gave it to you for free, that tells me, again, the Dodgers aren't in it for the money on this one.
Oh, yeah.
It is crowd control.
Very true. Very true. Are you back, Josh?
Hello?
Yeah. What were you gonna add something or?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that with the signing of Ohtani and Yamamoto, like Danny was saying, that's gonna bring a whole new crowd of people to the stadium, and truly people crying about paying $10. I mean, we pay $40, $50 to sit top deck at a game. $10 for FanFest is really nothing, and it goes to the foundation. It's really no harm.
And I get it. I mean, look, first and foremost, it is going to be popular. There are going to be some fan pages on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. There are going to be some people that complain because it is popular to complain. How dare you, Dodgers? How dare da 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 da? I get it. But I'm thinking, you know what? I mean, the reality is if they opened it up to everybody and you got to get your ticket, or even if they made it free and you got to get your ticket, somehow they got to cut that off. So yeah, $10. And again, I'm telling you, last year, people complained because the Dodgers were charging for autographs. You know where all that money went? It went to the foundation. It did not line any executive pocket. It went to the foundation, and that money was used for charity.
That's good. I mean, the Dodgers they're not trying to sneak money out of their fans. I don't think they need it, at least for little $10 each fan. Like, yeah, that's a lot of money, but they got other stuff to worry about. You're right. Thinking about that World Series parade, like I mentioned, if the Dodgers win the World Series, how big is that parade going to be? Like, how do you think that's going to take over like the whole city?
Well, I know this. It will be bigger than the Rangers parade. The Rangers really limited themselves on how they did their parade. Yeah, it's going to be massive. And, you know, we call this gatekeeping. I used to fan gatekeep. You know, that's where you tell people you're not a real fan. You're not a fan. You're not this. You're not that. And, you know, and it is not my place to determine who's a Dodger fan and who's not. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell you this. There are loyal Dodger fans today, because they became fans in October of 1988. You understand? They became bandwagon fans way back when. And now these are adults that have kids that are fans. So, you know, I'm telling you, we are going to get a new crowd of fans. We are going to have new fans coming out of the woodworks. Mm-hmm. It's going to be kind of like the Padre fans. Some of them aren't going to know a thing about baseball. And all they're going to do is use those catchphrases, rent-free, sucks, overrated, you know. But yeah, so Fan Fest, it's going to be interesting to see how big it is.
Yeah, and then we just signed 2 Japanese superstars. So everyone over there, we hit a big part of the earth.
Yep.
It's gonna be crazy. We will see a lot of new Dodger fans, a lot of Ohtani jerseys on opening day. I think it's gonna be crazy. I mean, I know you're not too close to the stadium, but you go to a few games a year. I wanted to ask you this question real quick. Like, what's your favorite Dodger game you've attended?
Game 6 of the World Series. Game 6 of 2020 World Series.
Oh, you were there. Easy.
I was there. I was in Arlington. My seat was on the first base side, all the way back almost by the first base foul pole, right field foul pole.
What did that feel like?
I'm back there. I mean, you know, I'm just live streaming the game and watching it. My live streaming was terrible, by the way, because I was so focused on the game watching it. All right. So when I saw Julio, and mind you guys, this is COVID. So this is, there was only 12,000 fans at that, or 14,000 fans at that game. And 10 to 12 of them were Dodger fans, 10 to 12,000. Anyway, when I saw Julio coming out, when they brought Julio out to pitch the rest of the game, I said, forget it. I'm going and sitting behind home plate. I know that's bad. I know that's stealing a spot that nobody's using. But I did. I went, I sat, and security didn't say, they watched me. But here's the deal. I didn't have an entourage with me. I was all by myself with one guy with me. That was it. We sat, we were quiet, and we watched, and I watched from behind home plate as Julio throws that last strike, as Austin Barnes grabs that ball, sticks it in his back pockets, and raises his hands. And then I'm watching as Kershaw and all the pitchers are coming out. And I mean, that celebration, I'll never forget it. That was my favorite game.
That's a story right there. I mean, I couldn't even imagine the chills running through my body if I was there. I would. I mean, I've been to 2 World Series games, 2017 game 2 and 6. And af after that, like, I've never been to something like that. It's something truly different. Obviously, you went the COVID year, so there wasn't that many fans, but I'm sure it was still electric because
It was loud. It was loud, and I kid you not. Okay, so I cannot remember if it was 12,000 fans or 14,000. I can't remember which one it was. It was one of those two.
Mhm.
But I'm telling you, it felt like if it was 12,000, it felt like 10,000 were Dodger fans.
That's crazy.
I mean, it was loud, and you almost forgot that it was COVID. Well, at least I did, because I was so focused on that last inning.
Mhm.
And here's the funny thing. I had my live stream phone, and I do this Dodgers win after every game post. I do a Dodgers win post. So I got my phone in one hand, my live stream in the other, and I'm watching the game. And as soon as they get that last out, I'm quickly going here and hitting send on the post with bad internet. And then I'm just watching, and I'm screaming, and I'm cheering. And I mean, it is just nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, what a feeling that
that's
was.
crazy.
And I wish, Fernando, we should have just said screw it and went like we were debating, even though our
I
moms
know.
were not about to let us.
Yeah, we were like, what, 16?
Shoot, yeah. Yeah, 16 years old, and we were like, it was COVID, so we were a little young still, but if that happened in this scenario now, I'm so confident that we would have been there.
Yeah, I would
Oh,
have been
see,
there.
so this year, let's say, all right, Dodgers go to the World Series. They have home field advantage. They win the first 2 games. And they win one at Yankee Stadium, and they come back. I guarantee you, I got a credit card with a 0 on it that I'm going to use, and I'm going to buy game 6 and game 7 tickets. Because if there is no game 7, you get reimbursed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because and so here's the deal. Check this out. All right. I'm not going to say who, so don't ask, because I'm not going to answer it.
Okay.
All right. I got a free ticket to game 6, compliments of Tank_streams. And I got a friend on Instagram who I run into, and we're talking before the game. And I'm like, okay, I'm here for game 6. We're going to win. But if we don't, dude, I'm staying for game 7. I'm delaying my flight and staying for game 7. And he's like, Danny, I got a security guy that'll let you in for $300.
Wow.
You will just walk by, and he will fake scan you, and you will just give him $300. And I'm telling you, that is dishonest. That is wrong. It is cheating. But I had $300 in my wallet.
I was going to say, you are not saying no to that, though.
Oh my goodness. Are
if-
you kidding? I'm like,
if
no.
the Astros could do it, we could
going
do
to
it.
Game 7. But, they won game 6, and I'm like, dude, that was electric.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So you said the comment about you're spending your last penny on the game 7 ticket if we're at home. Here's my thing. I think no matter where it is, I have to be at the clinching game this year. I have to be there.
Thing. Same thing. Just like this. Here's what it is. All right. The Dodgers win the first 2 games at home, and then they win the first game on the road. Yeah, I'm probably not buying a game 4 ticket. I'm probably buying a game 5 ticket. Thinking that the Dodgers would not sweep. I'm telling you, watching your team clinch a World Series, dude, that is rare.
Yeah.
That is rare.
You're right.
And I know everybody wants to hate on 2020. The reason I don't hate on 2020 is not because they won the World Series, not because I can say we have 7, not because I can say, look at us, we won, because I was there. I watched it. It was real. And all the haters can make their comments. That junk don't bother me. Yeah.
Yeah, me either. It don't bother me
No,
because if anybody else would have won, they would have been just as happy as us.
Yep.
And me and Josh were together that final moment. We were in my living room, and I swear we stayed up till like almost all night just watching the post game show. And we
Oh
were
yeah,
just
yeah.
speechless.
Yeah. I didn't get to watch the post game show because I was there with the post game crowd. But the crowd is out there. Everybody is cheering. Everybody is excited. I was on Fox News before the game and then after the game and then the very next day in interviews. But that night we are there. We're out front. Security finally kicked us out of the stadium. And finally the crowd is starting to disperse and go to their vehicles. So I stay in between Texas Live and Ranger Stadium, Arlington Stadium, and I'm just standing there alone, just thinking about that last inning and just pondering it. And finally, I get in my vehicle and I drive back to my friend's house 20 minutes away from the stadium. And I lay in bed and I don't go to sleep, dude. I am through the roof.
And it's crazy because in 2017 and 18, when we lost, I went to school the next day and I'm just like, dang, it's depressing. It really is. It sucks watching your team lose. So when they finally get that one, and especially being there, that's different.
But here's the good thing about you going to school when they lost. You went to a school that was probably predominantly Dodger fans.
Yeah. There were still haters though. Don't get me
See,
wrong.
in Arizona, phew, no. And I mean, other people from other cities repped other states. They repped the Dodgers hard, and they had to go to work the next day, and they had to go to school the next day, and they had to listen to the haters. And yeah, and like you said, yeah, there's still haters. There are Angel fans. There are Padre fans. There are Giant fans. Yeah.
Oh man, those school days after being eliminated used to be the worst for me though. I used to not talk to anybody for a couple days. Used to just sit there in school just mad. Remember 2013? I woke up. I was in 6th grade. I think I woke up crying to my mom. I don't want to go today. Still sent me, of course, but now those days are bad. But hopefully we don't gotta even face that pain this year with this roster we have right now. Danny, what's your expectation for Shohei Ohtani's contract? What's considered a failure to you championships wise?
Well, obviously no championships. So here's the deal. People are saying this. They're like this. They're saying 2024 is not a failure if we don't win because we need to win in 2025 when he's healthy pitching. All right, here's the deal. The Dodgers answered their pitching problems. The Dodgers picked up pitching depth. The Dodgers added a offensive bat at DH. Really, though, we had a great DH last year. JD Martinez was spectacular. So we're replacing him with another guy that's spectacular, who I expect to do a little bit better. Teoscar Hernandez. I think he's going to do big things. Now, the other gentleman we got from the Florida trade, I get it. You guys understand he's batting, I think, a batting average of like 240. Let's see what he does. But we've added depth. So I expect us to make the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't make the World Series, I'm calling 2024 a failure. Now, what I need the Dodgers to win 3 World Series in the next 6 years. And here's why. Here's why. Yamamoto's contract is a 12-year contract, but he can opt out after 6 years. And if he doesn't opt out after 6 years, his next opt-out option is in 8 years. So I'm telling you, if Yamamoto and the Dodgers win 3 World Series and he is Cy Young twice, he is opting out of that $300 a year contract because he is going to nail a $400 to $500 a year contract. And he might even nail it from the Dodgers.
Maybe.
But I'm telling you, I need 3 in the next 6. I need 4 in 10 years for me to consider it a success. Now, I'm going to tell you, take that part away, it is already going to be a financial success.
Mhm.
The Dodgers are going to net over $1 billion profit after paying all of Ohtani's bills. So they've already made a lucrative, smart financial move.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was. It was. I mean, you already saw the jersey sales after one day were the be out Messi right away.
Yeah, 2
And
days.
like
In 2 days, he had the record amount of sales in 2 days. Now, and here's the deal. You have, look, the two best franchises in baseball. The two best. Now, I'm not talking World Series wins because the Dodgers don't have 11 World Series wins. They have 7. But the two best franchises, the two most expensive franchises, the biggest markets are the Yankees and the Dodgers. So you instantly put the biggest name in baseball, Ohtani, with the biggest team in baseball, the Dodgers. That is, what do they call that? A magical conjunction. I mean, that is just, yeah, that's, there it is.
I'm gonna be honest.
That's gonna bring the ticket sales way up too. And I mean, the Dodgers already have the highest attendance, so it's just gonna make the ticket prices go up. So Dodger fans definitely expect that this year. But I mean, I don't think we have any right to complain. I mean, we got swept by our division foe, and we went out and spent our money. So I don't think Dodgers fans have no right to complain.
Well, here's what's going to happen. Scalpers have already bought up all the tickets for spring training, except what the Dodgers are going to release at the stadium. Trust me, there will be tickets to be had at the stadium for spring training. The Dodgers have a little bit set aside for you to get at the window. But scalpers are going to be scalping. Now, whenever you watch a Dodger game last year, you see the bottom completely full, Loge level completely full, and then the top levels. And then the top levels, you see them half full or a quarter full. But this year, this upcoming year, you're going to see probably every single seat maxed out.
Yep. Yep. And that's how it's going to be. And Dodger fans, be prepared to pay a pretty penny.
Especially when Shohei pitches in 2025.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, bobblehead night, look, here's the deal. I'm in Arizona. I can't go to those bobblehead nights because they're usually on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday games. They're not usually on Saturday games.
Barely.
So I can't go. I work, So what I'm going to do on Shohei night, I'm going to buy 2 of the cheapest tickets I can find. Those cheapest tickets are probably going to be $65, $70. I'm going to buy 2. And I got several friends that go to those games regularly, and they do the same thing I'm doing. They buy 25 to 50 tickets. They buy a ton. And then what they do is they go in with their, let's say they only bought 25. They go in, they collect 24 bobbleheads, put them in their bags, and they walk it back to their vehicles.
I see people.
And then they take their last ticket and they go in and enter and they get their last bobblehead. And so I give them my 2 tickets and they pick me up 2 bobbleheads, and then I pay them $15 for shipping them out to me, and I will get my Ohtani bobbleheads. Because I'm telling you, you got to be fast. And these guys are season ticket holders. So they go before everybody goes. You know how it is. You get that early admission. What do they call that?
Just early access. This is our first time, so.
Oh, okay. Well, this is what it is. So check this out. Early access, I think I got into the stadium at around 2 or 3 when they opened up the stadium around 4 or 5. So these guys, they go for the early access. They get all their bobbleheads and they get to go back to their car just fine. And they still get back in with their early access and they get their last one. So all I got to do is just secure my 2 tickets. And there you go. Because I'm telling you, these guys, those tickets are going to cost me It's probably $70 each. I'll bet you those guys will start the Ohtani bobbleheads at $150.
Oh yeah, especially the first one.
Especially the first.
Yeah.
Now, Foco sells their bobbleheads from 75 to $90. Ohtani instantly was like 90 or 95.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The Ohtani effect, man.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we're big bobblehead collectors too. Not big, we're getting there. I mean, you see his little collection back there. We're getting there. It's a lot, but you know, we're young, so we're just trying to build a little
How many
empire with them.
bobbleheads do you have?
Around 20 to 25.
Okay, very cool. All right, so I started this page, and I'm like, you know what? Listen, I don't have time to collect. I don't have room and space to collect, and all of that. And so, all right, then people started sending me bobbleheads. Hey, Danny, thank you for this. Here, I want to give you a gift. You know, and they gift me bobbleheads. They gift Mikey Bleeds Blue bobbleheads. And I don't take it for granted. I appreciate every single one. And on the box, I write down the account that gave it to me so I can always remember. And so up here, you can see up top is my 2020 championship section. Right below it is my former Dodgers. And then below that is a hodgepodge because I don't have it organized. Right up there is all my current Dodgers. And then over here is all of my Dodgers from 2014, 15, 16 bobbleheads. All right. So I've decided I'm going to start collecting. I just am not going to be obsessed and buy everything I see. I'm going to wait. And when the price is right, jump on it. But there is a couple pieces that I want that I got to pay for, and that's Vin Scully. I'm going to have to pay for his. So, yeah.
Yeah, Vin Scully, he needs another one.
He does. Speaking of Vin Scully, we actually got a question from the Instagram story, and it's which former Dodgers, or I mean you could say a current Dodger that I'm gonna say, do you think deserve a statue at Dodger Stadium?
Oh, hands down, Clayton Kershaw.
That's it. Clayton Kershaw, yes.
It would have been Sandy Koufax, but he already got his.
Yeah.
Clayton Kershaw. And to be perfectly honest, even before Clayton, I'm telling you, right now, Vin Scully should have a statue at Dodger Stadium.
He should 100%.
That was going to be my answer, Vin Scully.
Vin Scully, I would say this. Next one is Vin Scully because, you know, Clayton's going to be out of the game for 5 years, and then he's going to make the Hall of Fame. So wait until he gets his Hall of Fame induction. But right now, Vin Scully holds the record. Guinness Book of World Records for one person announcing as long as he did. No one in any sport, in any team, has announced longer than him. Now look, every team, the Lakers had Chick Hearn. The Cubs had Harry Carey. Every team has an iconic announcer. But Vin Scully, he did it all. And that man needs a statue first, and then Clayton Kershaw to answer your question.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And real quick,
perfect.
I wanna say something about these announcers. I think after Vin Scully left, I just want to clap it up real quick for Joe Davis. I think he's filled such a big role. I think he's done such a great job behind that microphone.
And because here's the thing, you have to desire it. You have to want it. If Joe Davis wants to stay for his entire career with the Dodgers, he could easily do the length that Vin Scully did.
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing, guys, Vin Scully, first and foremost, you guys need to understand, he was a humble man that came from humble beginnings, that never forgot where he came from. And he was a storyteller. He was a wordsmith. And he I mean, he was people's father. He was people's uncle. And I'm not talking his family. I'm talking the guys and the girls with transistor radios. I'm talking about people in Phoenix, Arizona, people in Cincinnati, Ohio, people in Brooklyn, New York that listened to him all the way up until they were buried in the grave. Vin Scully was something else.
He was. And it sucks that we grew up a little too late for his prime days, but we got to see a pretty good chunk of the end of his career. So I'm forever grateful for that. I remember his last call was on my birthday. It didn't feel real. I mean, that guy, he was my childhood. His voice is my childhood. When I was a baby, my mom told me the only thing that put me to sleep was she'll throw on a Dodger game. If Vin Scully's on, that's the only thing to stop me crying. And that stuck with me to this day. I love that guy. He's played a big role in my life.
Yeah, the unfortunate day when he passed away, I remember we were playing in San Francisco. That was like the worst day. I was with my current girlfriend and I started crying and she's like, "What are you crying for?" And I'm like, "You don't understand. Like this is the guy that's been announcing the Dodger games my whole childhood. He's been announcing the Dodgers for 60 plus years. Like he was important to the Dodger fans."
So I'm live streaming that game. I'm live streaming the game. And when I'm live streaming, like, you know, I know you guys can't see it, but let me show you. When I am live streaming the game, you're looking at my phone. You can't see it because of the ring, but you know, I'm live streaming. So I've got a phone there and then I've got a phone in my hand because I'm posting while live streaming. So I'm watching that game. Nothing going on San Francisco's Jumbotron, nothing going on. The announcers talked about it. The TV guys were talking about it because here's what happened. It showed up on Twitter. Boom. And I get the tweet and I'm looking at the tweet while live streaming and I'm going to it and I'm like, crap, no way. No freaking way. And I even posted, I can't believe I'm posting this. I think that was the caption of my picture, nothing else. I can't believe I'm posting this. Boom. And I post it and I'm posting it just about the same time as the announcers start talking about it because the announcers are watching Twitter too. They're getting their material from Twitter as they're doing the game as well. We have advanced in all of that.
Yeah.
But the Giants, they don't say a thing. They put nothing on the Jumbotron. They wait until the game is over out of respect for the Dodgers. They wait and then they put it up. Now, I know we as Dodger fans, we are supposed to hate the Giants. But I'm going to tell you, the Giants had an affection for Vin Scully. Vin Scully's last game I think his last game was broadcasted in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? His last game, they have had an affection for him. So that night, I put away the hate, I put away the rivalry, and I respected a very classy move by the San Francisco Giants.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never forget that night, just like I'll never forget the morning that I got the news that Tommy Lasorda passed away.
And that was another one, too.
Yeah.
For Tommy, I think he got his closure at least. He got to see that last ring. That's what he was waiting for. He was waiting for that. He
was there at Game 6. He was there. I saw him. Now, understand, guys, he was a long distance away from me. They were down in the section that no way was I ever going to get money to sit in. But I saw him there. Well, the back of him.
The back of his head.
I think we've had an encounter with him too, huh? Walking through the stadium.
Yeah, that was back when your dad had season tickets and we were going to the stadium club. And I just remember the elevator opens and it's Tommy Lasorda. This was before 6th grade too, so I didn't even have a phone. But I just remember just looking at him and I was just like, oh my God, that's Tommy Lasorda. And then he just, walks by with his little crew. And I just remember like, I wish I had my phone to take a picture because like, that's just something that like me being so young, if I had a picture of that, I would just look back at that and be like, wow, that was a great moment. But that moment's always engraved in my head that was like the one time that I saw Tommy Lasorda.
Yep.
And you know what, too? One more thing about Vince Scully is I wish Vince Scully was able to call one Shohei Ohtani home run as a Dodger. That would be such a legendary call, man.
And you got to understand, okay, Vince Scully is in heaven. We are not disrupting his peace.
Oh no.
Everybody says, let him rest, let him rest, let him rest. I make a post about Kobe Bryant. No doubt someone is going to say, let him rest. I make a post about Tommy Lasorda. Someone's going to say, let him rest. Let me tell everyone listening, there is nothing we can do on this earth that is going to interrupt Vince Scully's rest in heaven. That being said, AI has Vince Scully's voice. And so I know I have a guy that's done videos and I collaborated with, and I didn't realize at first because I didn't pay attention. But Vince Scully's voice is in the AI. I've had people unfollow me because of that. Now, I understand that you feel that's disrespectful. I get it. And if you did have Vince Scully's AI voice cursing up a storm, that would be disrespectful because I don't think Vince Scully had a curse word in him.
Mm-mm.
But I know someone is going to AI Vince Scully's voice on a Shohei home run. I know it's going to happen. But let me tell you, when it does, if it is tasteful, it is not going to disrupt Vince Scully's rest in heaven.
Yeah, no, and if we're being honest, Vince Scully's watching right now, and he's gonna watch this season, and he's gonna be calling it from heaven. He's still gonna be calling. I know he calls every single game from heaven. You know that was his life, day in and day out. And yeah, technology's so advanced nowadays where somebody is gonna do that, and I don't think it's anything I will be offended by. It's kind of just one of those things where you just kind of have to deal with it, and that's
And
it
I'm
because it's so
okay.
advanced.
I'm okay with people being offended. Absolutely okay with it. Stand up for Vince Scully. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you having an opinion that might be different from mine. I'll respect that. I got no problems with that.
Sure.
But I know someone's gonna make that. I I got 4 accounts on hand right now I'm thinking about that will make that. and they will try to be the first to post it. I know. I got 4 guys I know that'll do that.
Yeah, probably. But hey, that's what's gonna get the clicks, and that's what everyone's pulling for right now on the internet is getting those clicks.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on to kind of like a sort of 2024 outlook. Danny, tell us about the moment where you were when Shohei Ohtani posted that graphic on his Instagram that he was becoming a Dodger.
Okay, so I was visiting a hospice patient. So and understand my phone is in my pocket when I'm visiting patients. I do not answer my phone. I am visiting patients. I carry my phone because I often use YouTube to play music. I have devotions on my phone. I have readings on my phone, things like that for the patients. So it's always with me. And it buzzes. It buzzes. And I have my settings on during big news time. So I was late. I think I was late to that post. Now I had the post already made, but I think I was late to it. The breaking news. And but I was late to his. I didn't even know he posted. And so when I'm done with my visit, I was at a facility that has a long hallway. So I'm sitting in the hallway on a bench and I'm looking at all that. And that's when I'm seeing people were just reposting his post. And then boom. And I even think Dodger 360 may have messaged me and told me that he signed.
Damn.
Dodger 360 kind of looks out for me because he knows I can't be there to jump on the news because I'm with patients or I'm doing funerals. And so, yeah, that would be really bad. Me doing a funeral right in the middle of a funeral, making a post.
Yep. No, that's one of those things where you just gotta Gotta
Gotta
let it
hold off
go.
a little
But
bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
but no, that was definitely a big day. That I mean, not that Shohei Ohtani signing kind of made us want to start doing Dodgers Explicit. We mentioned it kind of during the season, and I remember I made up the name on the ride back from a Dodger game, and then I don't know, Shohei signing was kind of just like, let's do it in a way. In a way, I don't know if that even really
Yeah,
makes sense, but like
it
in a way, it was just
motivated
like, let's
us.
do it.
Yeah.
Okay, now hear this. Before, I don't want to take up too much of your time. We'll cut it shortly right now. But we had this. I had a crazy idea in the middle of a podcast. Right. He showed me a graphic somebody made, and he's like, throw it on a T-shirt, and everybody's gonna buy it. It was like this Japanese sort of. I don't know how to describe it, but you know how like they're very into anime. So
Yep.
it was a graphic with all the Dodgers on it, and I was thinking, what if somebody made a comic book when the Dodgers win the World Series with our whole story with just the anime cover? Is that sort of the route that
I think
we're
there
gonna
was a
see
comic book already made for 2020.
for 2020?
Yeah, I think I saw a 2020 comic book also.
Mhm.
I think I did. At least I saw some pages. Yeah, somebody will do that. And and it's gonna sell to fans. You know what? They might sell it for $10 a piece, but someone will do that. But let me say this to you guys. When you're thinking about making a t-shirt, you got to find a graphic person that makes their own work. You got to be very careful
Yeah.
not to plagiarize, very careful not to take somebody else's work. I represent or I promote a lot of guys that do their own art, that do their own things. Above Los Angeles takes his own photos. Elmer Crowns makes his own hats. Gnarly Farts, the CVRVE, Jersey Swapper, and I mean, and there's others. There's other Raul Arts, and there's others. They all make their own art. Dwyer Dave, they all make their own stuff, and they make their own T-shirts. And at the same time, I know people rip them off by recopying it and reselling it.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you want to have a good relationship in the Dodger community, you got to make sure you don't do that. And I did. I copied a hat and I made a hat off of a thing that wasn't mine. And Elmer Crowns, Elmer, one of his faithful followers called me out and said, I'm stealing his stuff. And I'm like, oh, crap. I got to find out who this guy is and reach out to him. And I already ordered the hats. And I paid for the hats. And then I reach out to Elmer and I'm like, look, dude, I'm just going to take a hit on this. I'm going to tell him not to send it. I'm going to take a hit. I'm sorry. I did not mean to steal from you. I saw the hat. I looked everywhere for who made it. I couldn't find nobody. So I made one and did that. All right. Because I was apologetic, I owned my mistake. Instead of blocking me, instead of talking trash about me, he was probably upset at first, no doubt, because it was his work.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, Danny, don't worry about it. Come out even. And I made a promise to him. I said, I'm giving away the rest of the hats. I'm not going to sell them. I'm going to give them away. I came out even. I came out even like 2 days later, and I had 180 hats left over. And I've just been giving them away. Just give them away. And when people didn't ask for this, but when people send me stuff, I would give a hat away. When I sold championship rings and I messed up on an order and sent the wrong ring or sent a ring late, I always threw a hat in and gave it with it. I've given them all away, almost all. I got about 50 left. But Elmer, because of our relationship, he now makes me hats.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good things come to good people. You're a great guy.
Yeah. One last thing, Danny. So for this 2024 year, I'm asking you for a record prediction, And I'm assuming you're gonna say we're gonna win the World Series. So who are we beating in the World Series and how many games?
Okay, so here it is. Number one, I do not want to be the Padre players at last year's Fan Fest.
Yeah.
It don't matter who we go. We got to take it out. No, I don't want to do. So let me say it this way. I believe the Dodgers will win north of 105 games.
Mm-hmm.
105 games is my over-under mark. And I think the Dodgers are going to win over 105 games. That's a safe bet. I think the Dodgers can go to the World Series. And I am expecting them to go to the World Series. That's a safe bet. Now, who do I want them to play? I want them to play the Yankees.
That would be so fun.
I want them to play the Yankees for two reasons. The history of it and all the potential content that would... you should see MLB on Instagram. Go to MLB. Every time they post about the Dodgers, wait 4 hours. Wait 4 hours and go back and look at the comments. Everybody whining and crying because MLB is now a Dodger page. But I'm serious. If it was the Yankees and the Dodgers, I would say the Dodgers win in 6.
There you go.
Good prediction.
Win the first 2 games at home, lose the 3rd game, win the 4th, lose the 5th, and then come home and win the 6th.
And we'll all be there.
No, yes, every single, all of us in this chat will be there for sure. I got to be there for the World Series clincher, no doubt. But yeah, no, that's I think ideally that would be what's best for baseball too. Baseball needs a Dodgers Yankees World Series. I mean, the numbers would be through the roof. Everyone's saying baseball's dead. That will get shot to death right there.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you. I say I need it because I'm selfish. I'm about the Dodgers. All right. I'm going to tell you, I don't hate the D-backs.
No.
And what the D-backs did last season was special for Arizona.
It was.
I do not see them duplicating that this year, but I do
agree.
see them playing better. And for all the Padre fans that are listening, the Dodgers have a greater rivalry with the D-backs than they do the Padres.
You hurt some feelings.
Well, because the D-backs have a World Series.
That's true. And they swept us.
I didn't say that, but anyway. So, and then the Rangers, I'm telling you, what the Rangers did, I believe was good for baseball. The Rangers won their first ever World Series. And I think that was huge. I think that was great. Yeah, I'm upset. I wanted the Dodgers to be there. So, yeah, I think it's good for baseball. You're right. Yankees, Dodgers would be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest teams and the biggest stage. We need it.
Oh, man.
All right, let's cut it there. Thank you again, Danny, for hopping on.
Absolutely.
Thank you
for having me.
letting us take an hour of your day. I'm sure you're probably a busy man, so we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danny.
And then if there's anything else you want to add on, just go ahead and tell the people.
That's great, guys. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. We'll probably see you FanFest. We'll be there.
Yes, we will.
Spring training, we'll reach out to you. So we'll stay in touch.
Absolutely. You guys are coming to spring training.
Yep. Probably
so
will a
let
couple
me know
times.
the days and we'll connect.
All right, for sure,
All right.
Danny.